What's up guys, welcome back to episode 4 of your 2006 RM250 giveaway. Today I have some amazing stuff that came in from some of our sponsors for this build that I want to share with you guys. Not only are we getting into that Lectron Pro, but Steve up at HYGGE Performance also sent us a brand new cone pipe. So we're going to check this out on the bench. We're also going to install the brand new accelerator metering rod into that Lectron together today. This is a brand new product offering from Lectron that you can drop into your existing Lectron Pro. They come in the Pro now standard, but if you have an older one, I'll show you how to do that. I also have a brand new comment giveaway in today's YouTube video. I'm giving away one $100 free entry, same as cash, to win the RM250. You guys can also check out mXrevival.com to get entered to win this bike. I'm only allowing 350 entries total. This thing will be wiped out before the build is even finished. Now, real quick, before we hit your bike and check out all the cool things that have transpired since episode 3, shout out to Lectron Racing. Congrats, dude. You won last episode's comment giveaway for an entry for the RM250. He had a really cool idea. His comment was something along the lines of wanting to build a bike and give it to a family for Christmas, I believe it was. Maybe a less fortunate family, didn't have the funds to pick up a bike for their kid. I love that idea. It was super cool. So thanks for dropping some value in the comments for everyone to read. And similarly today, guys, for the comment giveaway, I want you to give me your absolute best tech tip. Doesn't matter if it's big or small, just give it a try. Even if you're not sure of yourself, just drop it below. I want to read those. I'm going to pick my favorite. And in episode 5, I'm going to give away another free entry to this bike. So let's go ahead and check out your bike, check out some of the things I've done to it this week before this video, get caught up on what's happened, then we'll hit the bench, check out some of your engine progress, and we'll install that new accelerator metering rod in the Lectron Pro that's going on your bike. These are like 800 bucks. It's like 8 entries to this thing. Just imagine what else you're going to see on this bike. All right, let's go check it out. All right, guys, there she is. But before we get too far down the rabbit hole, let's go talk to this asshole real quick. Uncle Tony's in the house.
What's up, Peckerhead? How you doing?
If you guys are new to the MXrevival channel, Uncle Tony and I own a company called MX Skill Shack as well, where we also do giveaway bikes. This is our current 1997 YZ125 giveaway build. Check that out when you have some free time. Of course, links are down below. I'm also going to show you some really cool engine stuff in a minute that segues, again, perfectly into what's going on with the engine in this build we're doing for you. But before we get there, as you can see, your plastics and graphics have arrived. I'm really stoked to finally see some actual plastic against the frame because at first I wasn't really sure. All I had was a number plate here from before that I reused because it's special. Check out episode 1 for that. But this yellow works out really, really great. And as you can see, we got a little nod to Kenny there. Cameron also sent some of his grip tape for the frame. Came out pretty cool. It really has a great contrast against that yellow. Just got done with your linkage. You got fresh bearings in your linkage, all the murdered out hardware, all the casting flash has been removed from that main link arm. You got some black Cerakote on the main knuckle there. Of course, you can win this bike. Tons of vapor blasting, as you guys have seen in previous episodes. So guys, you may notice that the engine that was mocked up inside your 06 RM250 is back out, and that's for a good reason. It's out here on the bench. A bunch of really awesome stuff showed up, all the bearings for the transmission, crank bearings. Lukey sent a gorgeous gold cylinder head from Phathead Racing. I take this over to the wheels, but I just realized they're off. The gold matches the hubs perfectly, so really cohesive. That came out great. We're going to talk more about it in a minute, but we will go ahead and start over here on the left. We got you a brand new Polysport folding stand, all the plastics, graphics, stand, and seat cover. Came from my dudes at Decal Works. They handle all the mXrevival builds. Really pumped to have their support. These are going to be perfectly matched on your stand to your decal kit. Can't wait for that. As you can see, probably going to be doing something with these dudes as usual. Got you a brand new seat foam, standard height. I already had, when this was my bike, a tall seat foam there. It feels great when you're sitting on it for your knees, but I cannot stand the way they look. So I'm hoping that because it's not a stock seat base, this foam will go onto that base without any trouble. So we'll see here coming up soon. And then the elephant in the room here, not one of Tony's elephants. You'll have to watch Skill Shack to understand that inside joke. But the gorgeous HYGGE Performance cone pipe. And I don't know if I mentioned it yet, guys, but if you need links or resources to anything we talk about today or past videos, it'll be down in the description below for you. This one even came with a new O-ring. That's a nice touch, Steve. Now for your engine here, Dean over at Fast Blast and Coat hit this primary cover with some Cerakote. It's called Concrete. It's a very Suzuki-esque color in my opinion. It goes great on these Suzuki builds. I showed you guys the brand new torque drive clutch system from Rekluse that's going to be going in your engine here shortly. Of course, got a brand new V-Force. I'll be showing off a little more in detail Dave's Bolt Motorcycle Hardware engine kit that he blacked out completely for this build for me. A little more FBC concrete, and they went ahead and brushed this logo. I was able to track this cover down brand new. The old one was cracked. Got this in the Netherlands, as I've gotten some other parts from CMSNL in the past. That came out amazing. Freshly rebuilt crank, covered that in a previous video. And yesterday, went ahead and put in all the bearings and seals inside these cases for you. These have been vapor blasted. They're pretty much ready to go. And the reason this is cool, or the thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, is that, as mentioned a minute ago, Tony and I have a video coming up next Saturday on the MX Skill Shack channel. So 7 days from today, showing you guys how to put in all the bearings, how to heat the cases, how to cool the bearings, how to install the studs, how to install the seals. So specifically did not go out of my way to show you any of this stuff because Tony and I have a badass engine build series going on where we're showing you this engine for the YZ125 come together start to finish. So if you're interested in learning more about engines, how they come apart, how they go back together, and you want to win this bad boy right here, go check out the MX Skill Shack channel. We're going to show you how to build an engine from scratch. There are already a couple videos up on that. All right, guys, let's talk about your Phathead for a second. And of course, the way it looks on top of this 4-stage blasted, absolutely ridiculous cylinder. If you guys want to learn how to assemble the exhaust valve on the 04 and up RM250, you can check out the last video. I believe it was the last video where we assembled this together. Also, some more stuff from Dean. Some more Cerakote concrete and a little taste of that murdered out bolt kit from Dave. So, unreal machining, the color is off the charts, and what's really cool about Luke's Phatheads is that rather than buying a whole new cylinder head to change your power profile or run a different type of fuel, he has interchangeable domes. So really cheap to just swap these out. You can do this trackside if you'd like. Let's see what he sent us inside the box. I think there are some more domes in there, so I can show you what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, he sent a ton of stuff. 1, 2, 3. I'll have to crack those open together. Also have some other little bits and pieces. If you guys have a super rusty flywheel, you can go ahead and vapor blast that. Just make sure you dry it off. Come out looking brand new. So that's going in your engine. Some more brand new engine parts that were vapor blasted and hit with the old SOS pad. Make them even more bright. All right, let's open these up and see what they are. I'm pretty sure these are all domes just based off the size of the box, but I could be wrong. Oh yeah, there's another. No, I was wrong. This is a new product offering. I've got a dome there. Maybe these are dome too, but I had no idea you were sending these, Luke. These are badass. I've got one of my RM450. These are Luke's brand new gas caps. You guys can hear the little check valve in there. They are machined just like the cylinder heads. That was a cool surprise. Got the rubber gasket in there for you guys already. Let's see if these are all gas caps, because if he sent me 3 and they're all gas caps, then he probably sent me these so I can either do a test fit, since these are new, or do a giveaway. If these are all gas caps, then I'm definitely doing a giveaway right now. No guarantee it'll fit your bike. Worth a shot. Let's see. Oh, there's another one right there. Let's see, let's see. Yep, there it is. These look to be a little bit different. So, yeah, different sizes. Check that out. I'll have to ask Luke what these are going on. Luke, unless you sent these to us for the RM and the YZ, I'm not sure. Now here's the third bag. What is in here? We've got, oh, sick, a black anodized one. So one of these will have to go on the RM if it fits. One of these will go on the YZ if it fits. And then the last one, we're going to give away to you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and pick 2 of my favorite tech tip comments in today's video. So get your bats out and start swinging. I probably won't send you one of these. We'll find out who the winner is and then find out what you ride and then send you the appropriate gas cap. So that's probably the best way to do that. At any rate, I thought we had more domes to show off, but you guys see how that works? They've got an O-ring on them there. Pop it right back into place. Simple. Like I said, you can do that on the side of the track if you wanted. You guys can get different domes if you want to run different types of fuel, or maybe you have some other specific mods that would require you change a dome like this. Either way, that's a nice surprise. Thank you, Lukey. Love working with you. Thanks for making the builds better and all your support over the years. I think it's time we get into that Lectron. I also have, like I said, the accelerator rod. Looks like they sent it to me inside of a brand new slide, which is cool because we may not have to set the depth right away. I've also got some OEM Honda parts here. Quick little tip for you guys. If you want to get new hoses on your carburetor, doesn't matter if it's a Lectron or a Kian or a Mikuni or whatever, you can buy it on certain microfiche in the shots, like the pre-cuts that already come on your bike, and they get quite expensive, or you can spend about the same amount of money on a 1992 CR250 microfiche, I believe, and then they send you a gigantic freaking roll of this stuff, and I've had this for probably 4 years. It'll say hose bulk and then the hose size, and then you know you're getting the big roll and not just the pre-cuts. One other thing to be aware of too is that the main vents are one size, and then the bowl vent usually on a standard carburetor is a little bit smaller hose. So just look at the microfiche and you'll be able to tell what's what. And this is a leftover bulk hose for the smaller size from probably even longer ago than I got this. So check that out. Here's the part number for you guys. Anyways, Lectron comes with some clear hoses, and as mentioned in a past video, they sent this my way for prototype testing on the RM250 before it popped and became a giveaway bike, and they come with clear hoses. So I'm going to dress this up a little bit with some OEM Japanese style hoses. You can see they're a little bit yellowed from about 2 hours of use probably on this thing, but these things are sick. They're like $750, $800. The Pro Series comes with a brand new jetting circuit, all externally tuned, super cool. A lot of you guys probably know this already. I will link a Lectron video down below if you need more of a Lectron 101. I've filmed in the past, but let's go ahead and see if we can't get this brand new accelerator rod in. I'll show you what it is, what the difference is, and then we'll drop it in here, and I'll tell you all about these sweet little thumb dials, what they're called and what they do as well. Well, I got completely freaking sidetracked on your Lectron and got a little carried away mocking up your engine. Once I saw that bolt kit, I could not resist. So guys, not only is this a little taste of the murdered out bolt kit from Dave, but this is what your engine's pretty much going to look like. Of course, with a big, gigantic, handmade cone pipe and a Lectron Pro Series in the back. So all we are waiting for on this bad boy here is your complete transmission back from cryo heat. It's being hardened and micro polished, so this thing will free up some power, shift really well, and then the transmission will last a really, really long time. Got lucky on the tranny in this. Other than that, you guys already saw your crank is here, so once that tranny's back, this thing is going back together. Let's go ahead and fix up that Lectron Pro Series. All right, now we're ready to go. I was looking for the lid to your carb, because as mentioned, it was used. I have a bin full of parts. Stumbled across your absolutely sick Pro Circuit R304 decals, though special. As you guys can see, there's some sauce added in there. These are also from Decal Works. I feel like these videos for this particular build is just like cool thing after cool thing after cool thing after cool thing. So stoked. So one thing that is pretty cool about the new Lectron Pro Series, and this is the slide and metering rod that had originally lived in there, is that your stock throttle cable threads right into these now. Back in the day, you used to have a special cable for the old Lectron, but they figured that out. Some of these do require a little fitting, but they sell it, and if your bike needs one, it'll come with it. Some of these, like your standard carburetor, has a brass fitting or a cup that captures your cable, and it can't be transferred out of your, say, RM250 stock Kian lid, and so there's like a little adapter. Anyways, side note. So let's get into this accelerator rod here and see how it differs from that metering rod and slide that I just showed you. So they give you a little bit of instructions if you're doing a swap over with a Pro Series that did not have an accelerator metering rod in the first place. You'll also get some specs as to how they set it. So these are really great to hang on to if you ever need to go back and measure anything. Like I said earlier, the Pro Series just comes with the accelerator metering rod installed now from the factory, so you don't really need to worry about that setup if you're getting a new carb. Again, links below if you guys need those. We've been an Lectron dealer for a long time, so stoked to help you guys out. If you need it, it does help out the channel quite a bit. So a little more detail on which rod it is, where the measurements were as a backup to that paperwork I just showed you. Make sure my hands are clean here. Don't want to get anything dirty as we install. This carb also needs a little bit of a cleaning too. All right, so here is the new slide and accelerator metering rod. Now at a glance, they pretty much look exactly the same, as in there's a flat side on the front there, a little few numbers in the front there, so you know which rod you actually have. Hopefully you guys can see that. The biggest difference is going to be on the back, and this is my first time seeing it, but it was pretty obvious right away. You guys can see that this new one here, there's like a groove or a recess cut into the back of the rod that the original rod does not have. This one's just round on the back, like a half circle. This guy here though, as this thing dips down into the float bowl between bursts of throttle, it's dipping into the fuel, and a little bit of fuel is going to get stuck inside this crevice here, and when it comes back up, it's going to lift some fuel into the carb's venturi, so it's going to give it a little bit more of a burst of fuel off the bottom. Traditionally, before the Pro Series carb, these Lectrons were notoriously kind of sluggish or soft on the bottom. It was due to probably a lack of jetting circuits, say like a pilot jet in your original carburetor, but they keep getting better and better, and in my opinion, this current Pro Series and even the Billetron before the Pro Series had already solved that problem. It felt like a nicely jetted key-in on a YZ250, for example, where those YZs have a nice burst of torque off the bottom. They went a step further, and I swear these guys have been developing products like psychopaths the last 2 years, where I can't even keep up, and they went ahead and made this accelerator metering rod. So you guys can see, install is going to be really, really simple, and this is really the only difference here. It's much like the idea behind an accelerator pump in a 4-stroke carburetor, because the 4-strokes don't produce enough vacuum at idle to suck fuel out like a 2-stroke, so they came up with this complicated cam where you'd roll your throttle, the cable would get pulled, the cam would smack a little rod, the rod would push a pump, the pump would push fuel through this little orifice right off the very, very crack of the throttle, and it would go through what's called a leak jet and shoot this little stream of fuel right into the engine for the 4-stroke. So that's kind of what they're going for here. In terms of the desired effect, obviously much simpler than an accelerator pump setup on an old 4-stroke FCR, but that's the idea. So I'd like to put it in, but this thing is filthy. So we'll go ahead and pull all the hose off of it, hoses, and then clean it up a little bit. It does have a little bit of dirt from me monkeying around with it. And then we will drop that in. I'll show you what these little knobs do. We'll have some cool OEM pink hoses, and this thing can get plopped right into the intake on that mocked up engine. Go ahead and get all these old hoses pulled off, and we're going to use these also as a guide in terms of how long the new hoses should be. So don't throw them away just yet. Go ahead and use that first one because it's going to be pretty much the same across the board. I'm going to make them just a touch longer as well, because then I can fine tune the length once this is actually on the bike and the hoses are hanging down past the linkage and the shock and all that sort of thing. So here's our length. I'm going to give myself an extra 4 inches or so. There you go. And I mentioned earlier to you guys that there are a couple different sizes of this hose if you're doing a standard carburetor. In the case of the Lectron, there's only 4 hoses, vent hoses, and they don't have that bowl drain hose like the Japanese carbs that use the smaller hose in that particular spot. So you can get, I'm going to say that either one of these hose sizes will work if you were to get them in bulk if you're doing this to Lectron. But yeah, I'd stick with the bigger one because then you can do a bunch of other bikes with it as well. So I'll go ahead and get 4 of these cut up, and we will be off to the races on cleaning that body up a little bit. Got our hoses, our rod, our lid gasket, return spring, and then I got a bunch of this Lectron hose lying around as well. I'll probably go with a black one on this particular build, although it would actually work well on the Suzuki if I kept the yellow hose. Finish getting these guys off here, pulled out of the guide in that float bowl bracket. Yeah, you can see it's just a little bit dirty in this area here. I'm going to use our favorite household product here, or shop product, to clean things. Maxima Contact Cleaner. This stuff is amazing. Don't leave home without it. One thing about that Maxima Contact Cleaner is that I've noticed, compared to say like a brake cleaner, if you were to get brake cleaner on this, though this is pretty dang durable, especially due to the fact that it has fuel and premix in it at all times, brake cleaner can be so harsh that it would haze that up or maybe discolor it a little bit. I've gotten, or purposefully actually, used the contact cleaner on Cerakote, like if I get a smudge on it or something, and it's not going to warp it and put a big old blister in it or mess up any sort of coating. So that's really nice. All right, nice and shiny. Now, if you guys were replacing a decal right now, for example, this stuff, even though it's kind to Cerakote, it absolutely decimates sticker residue better than brake clean. That was kind of a shock for me, but anyways, this bad girl's looking clean, so we'll move on. Now, these thumb dials, this is part of what they call the Easy Tuning Kit. The Easy Tuning Kit consists of these instead of screws. So if you're doing a metering rod adjustment on the side of the track, then you can just use your fingers rather than having to have like either a 3mm Allen, which is the more current Japanese style before the Phillips screws, or even maybe standard screws they were using back in the day. So these are amazing, and they come with a metering rod as well. So you get the thumb dials and the metering rod adjustment tool, and that tool is just so that you don't use pliers on this and goof it up, because this CNC cut profile draws or drags fuel a very specific way, and if you put some nicks in it, it's not going to work that great. Probably the most important part about this here is that the flat side of the rod always faces the engine, which would be the smaller hole there. So I would just go in there like that. And in terms of adjustments that need to be made from here, of course, we need to put the lid on and get the spring and the gasket and the cable all hooked up. It's pretty cool. Now with the Pro Series, and the Pro Series with the torque jet specifically, this is the new circuit they added. It used to be power jet and metering rod, which is inside that you could adjust, but then they added the third torque jet. Now once you get your base setting on your metering rod that lives inside the slide, you can tune this thing with the torque jet by adding or deleting fuel, which is as easy as constricting it or opening it up for more. Same with the power jet. I thought that was really cool because while you do need to sometimes tune your metering rod by spinning it either in or out, aka up or down, to make it richer or leaner, you no longer have to do that once you get it set right. That works in conjunction with your idle, blah, blah, blah. We're going to actually do this. I'm going to get the bike done and tested and tuned, but really cool feature. Now you can set your metering rod and just use this screw on the torque jet, which would have been like a pilot jet in all reality, the fuel coming into the carb off the bottom, let's say, for layman's terms. Yeah, you don't have to adjust the rod as much anymore, if at all. They say never, so that's really cool. All right, let's get these hoses on. These are a little bit too fat for the guides here, so I'm gonna have to use the other size hose. You could drill those out if you really wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that. And I'm gonna save these cuts that we did together for some other machine. This probably go great on a Japanese bike. So there they are. Now I just gotta hope that I've got enough. Yeah, okay, the smaller size is the right size. Now that I just need to hope that I have enough of this stuff to pull this off, which I may not. So in regards to the routing, whether I have enough hose or not, two are gonna come in from one side and cross over to the far side. Same from here, two are gonna come up, cross over, go to the far side, so they crisscross as they leave the rear of the carburetor. And then if you want to keep them in line, like this hole here would cross over to the lower port, and then the inboard hole would cross over to the one next in succession, so they actually flow and ride together all the way up. Otherwise they're gonna maybe crisscross if you don't do it that way. It doesn't really make a difference, but if you like a certain look. I'm gonna go ahead and do the crisscross now, because I don't think I have enough of this hose to get the job done. That's all right, you guys will get the idea. I'll order some more. We'll get this thing mocked up on your bike. And either way, that pretty much is a wrap on the features, the new features of the Xcelerator metering rod. So I'm looking very forward to testing that. I've used every single stinking Lectron since the 36mm Legacy, and there's been 4 or 5 revisions ever since then, but it's gonna look like that. Pretty cool, it got that Japanese OEM look. Let's go ahead and plug this thing into the back of your engine. All right, a little bit of Maxima on there. Helps it go in for the first time. Guess that could be used broadly. Let's see if I can do the one-handed shuffle here. Yeah, almost. All right, guys, there it is. That is pretty much the full mock-up on what your engine and carb setup's gonna look like. Give her a little spin. Man, this thing is gonna bark. Anyways, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. I'm looking very forward to seeing this guy here drop into this guy here. Gonna be killer. Oh, Uncle Tony's back, and I think he's got something to say.
If I win this bike, you guys are gonna be pissed.
Yeah, that's true.
You better buy some freaking tickets.
Everyone's gonna think I'm cheating. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed checking out all the trick parts that keep piling in for your RM. I think we went over, I don't even know how many thousands of dollars worth of stuff. There's more to come. So if you want to win this thing again, you got two options. Today, I'm picking one free $100 entry for my favorite tech tip. I'll let you guys know who that was in episode 5. And also, because Luke sent those really cool gas caps, give me another tech tip. I'm going to pick 2 of my favorite tech tips and give away one of those as well. So make sure you also go to mXrevival.com to sign up to win this thing. Again, only 350 slots. This is only the 4th video. More than a third of them are already gone. You can kind of see what I'm getting at. In addition to all the other links I'm leaving below, there will also be a contact link in case there's something I didn't answer or you have additional questions. That contact link will go directly into my email inbox. So as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Thanks for making these contests what they are. And I will see you in episode 5. See you later, Uncle Tony.
Bye, guys.